back to Libib's booktube channel. My name is Kayla and I'm back with my organized bookshelf. Thank goodness, it's been a hot minute since I've had some books behind me and it feels so good to be reunited. So welcome back to today's bookish video. Today I'm going to be doing the coffee book tag, which was originally created by Jessie the Reader, maybe? I don't know. I will leave all of the links to the description box down below. I will also leave all the questions as well down there for today's video. I did tweak a few of them. So let's get started. I love coffee, so I'm super excited to do this tag. So question number one, let's just get right on into it. Black coffee. Name a series that's hard to get into, but has a hardcore fan base. And I would like to say any of the Sarah J Maas or Cassandra Clare people, because their series just keep going and going and going. And I just don't have the time to get into those now and just keep binging and binging and binging and waiting and all that fun jazz. So like that's a hardcore fan base. Another hardcore fan base I want to say is Brandon Sanderson, because those books are super thick and I feel like a lot of people that get into sci-fi fantasy love him. So those are the book series that I personally cannot get into because long, thick books are not my thing. Question number two was originally Peppermint Mocha, but I have since changed it to iced coffee because my wink soul loves some iced coffee. And my iced coffee question would be, what is your favorite series to binge during summer? And if you're looking for a quick, easy book series to binge, I would have to say The 100 by Cass Morgan. And I didn't like over the hill love this series. I definitely love the TV show better. So if you're done binging the books, you can definitely watch the TV show. Compare and contrast how they're completely different from each other, which I think is a fun summer activity. Question number three is hot chocolate, which I am not drinking this summer. Name your favorite children's book. My recent favorite children's book has been any of the Narwhal books by Ben Clanton, which I have read them all aloud, so you can go and check out that playlist that will be linked down in the description box below. But I just love Narwhal and Jilly, and they're so cute and adorable, and they're always in fun adventures, and there's facts in these books. It's just a great time. Question number four is double shot of espresso, which recently I've been doing like 3 or 4 shots of espresso on ice, and then I just mix in my creamer at home, and woo-hoo-wee! What a fun time of focus and functionality I become after a couple of shots of espresso. Question number four, double shot of espresso. Name a book that kept you on edge from start to finish. I'm gonna go back to an old favorite of mine, which is one of my top favorite books outside of like the trifecta of like Harry Potter, Hunger Games, and Twilight. This would be on the new favorites list, and that is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. I loved and adored this book when I first read this. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but it is a haunting, spooky, thrilling ride. The beginning is kind of like Mean Girls meets John Tucker Must Die, and then there's themes of some horror movie that comes into play that I have not seen, but it is a spooky, chilling good time, and I love it so much. The first like 30 pages are just like, oh, this is like an average like Mean Girl-esque type plot line, but then it heads into the spooky, scary stuff, and the ending of the book just left me hanging like off the cliff. I'm like hanging on the cliff like, bring me out please. Like this book, amazing, great. If you have not read it, you should read it. Question number five, Starbucks. Name a book that you see everywhere. Right now, the book that I'm seeing literally everywhere is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and or also slash Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. The Netflix adaptation was released at the end of April, and everyone, from what I heard, is saying that that show is absolutely pretty good, and the critics love it too. So now I've started the first chapter. Where am I at? Yeah, I'm somewhere in the first chapter of this book. I'm listening to it on audio right now, and so I'm enjoying it so far. All the books that I have like taste tested recently throughout this past week, Shadow and Bone was the one that stuck, and with the Netflix adaptation coming out, I feel like I need to read it and finally get on the bandwagon because it's been out for so long and I have just been pushing it off. I remember when Six of Crows came out and I was like, I should read this right away, and then I just didn't. and didn't and didn't. But I think the time has come now, especially because I want to watch a Netflix show and compare and contrast. Question number 6. That Hipster Coffee Shop. Shout out to my favorite coffee shop that's local. Shout out to my favorite local coffee shop, Cody Road Coffee in LeClaire. Y'all are amazing and I love your stuff so much. But this question contains, name a book by an indie author and give it a shout out. I want to change this question as the indie coffee shop, a book that you don't think is hyped up enough. And the book that I don't think is hyped up enough is A Vengeance Road by Erin Bowman. This book talks about a young adult gal and she is in the wild, wild west and she has to find the guy who killed her father. She's out for revenge and it's like a Mulan Western novel, and this book was absolutely amazing and I love it and I still love it to this day. And Erin Bowman has amazing covers. She just released one of my most anticipated releases that I still haven't read yet, Just Born, this past month. But I think all her books are underhyped in my opinion. I don't ever hear anyone talking about reading Vengeance Road or reading Dustborn or reading really any of her books. I think her books are so amazing and they deserve so much hype, and so I just think they're underhyped and they just need to be given a shout out to the world. Question number 7. Oops, I accidentally got decaf. Name a book that you were definitely expecting more from. And Bunny by Moana Awald. I definitely did not think this lived up to the hype. This was supposed to be an adult novel talking about this girl in this writing program at college. Great, right up my alley. More of like my age type stuff. But honestly, it was the biggest letdown and put me in the biggest reading slump. So it's like, oh crap, I got decaf. Which brings me to a story of a family vacation once. My boyfriend and his family, we all went on vacation and I accidentally made everyone decaf, and no wonder why everyone still felt tired like an hour later, because I made everyone decaf. That's exactly how I felt with this book. It was just, I thought the hype was just gonna be amazing, astonishing, like this book was gonna be so good. I mean, this book was like definitely yeah, in some parts, but it didn't like grasp me like I thought it would, so sorry, not my favorite book. Question number 8 is the perfect blend. Name a book or a series that is both bitter and sweet, but is ultimately satisfying. Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This book is absolutely bitter because of AI and all the like scary spookiness that has given me now throughout the rest of my life, but it was ultimately like one of the best books I've ever read, right up there with the Merciless. Like, it is spooky, thrilling, you're consistently turning the pages. Listen to this on audiobook as well. I was listening to it on audio and following along. Made for an amazing ride. Like, the hype does not, there isn't enough hype for this book either. It's just amazing and astonishing and you have to pick it up. Bitter and sweet and wholesome, and like the rest of the series are companion novels to the whole trilogy, so they each follow different characters but they ultimately come together in the end, which is great. But it is kind of more bitter towards the other books. I didn't like them as much as I did in Illuminate, but I just bitter and sweet and very satisfying. And the last question, do you have a go-to coffee order? And I do. Recently I have been getting, like I said, like 3 or 4 shots of espresso, coming home, putting my own creamer and milk in it and swirling it around and going about my day. Or the other one that's out of season now at Starbucks was the shaken brown sugar espresso coffee, which is really saddening. My go-to classic coffee order is always done iced coffee with hazelnut flavoring and some cream. But if I were to specifically go to like Starbucks right now, I would go up there, order a venti iced cold brew with oat milk, and if I can, get the brown sugar flavoring, but if not, I would definitely get vanilla. But anyways, that is it for the coffee book tag. I love coffee. Do you? Let me know in the comment section down below. And anyways, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time for a new bookish video.